What's going on, everybody? J-How here with another Diablo 3 monk build for you guys. And this one is incredible. It's been floating around for a few weeks. I'm bringing it to you guys in case you haven't seen it. It's insanely fast for Torment 6 rifts and all Torment 6 content. It's not top of the leaderboards, but I guarantee if you're farming up stuff, you are absolutely going to love it. We're going to go over the skills, the gear, and everything else you need to know. And we'll leave you at that, and let's hit these skills real quick. Wave of Light with Explosive Light. Dashing Strike with Way of the Falling Star. Mantra of Conviction with Annihilation. Mystic Ally with Air Ally. Epiphany with Insight. Sweeping Wind with Inner Storm. And for your passive, Seize the Initiative, Momentum, Beacon of Etar, and Fleet-Footed. The idea of this build is speed and damage all at one time. And you're going to get that from the various skills here. Wave of Light with Explosive Light. You can run this with a Zogren's Gaze, which Wave of Light is now cast at your enemy, so it can be casted way out like that, which is nice. And we're going to go over that. If you don't have something like that and you want to go with a Leoric's Crown, that will help you get your Dashing Strike and all your other relevant skills back around a little bit quicker. But ideally, for the setup that we are going with here, that's how we're going to do this. Dashing Strike, you're going to see gain 20% increased movement speed for 4 seconds after using Dashing Strike. Always a good thing. Again, this is about speed, and it's all here. Mantra of Conviction with Annihilation, because you're going to have that when you activate it. Damage bonus is increased by 20% for 3 seconds, but your passives, enemies within 30 yards, take additional damage. This basically essentially helps you one-shot a lot of enemies, and I think you're going to like that part. Mystic Ally with Air Ally, obviously because when you pop this, and hopefully you have a little bit of cooldown reduction, you're going to gain 100 Spirit, plus you're going to get a passive there. A Mystic Ally fights by your side. That's really nice to have there. Epiphany with Insight, which of course is important, because it increases your Spirit regeneration per second by 45, and enables your melee attacks to instantly dash to your target. That's not as important, because you're probably going to want to cast at distance, and we'll go over that here in just 1 second. But that allows you to continuously spam your Wave of Light whenever that's active, and that's really nice to have. Sweeping Wind with Inner Storm, again, as long as your Vortex is at 3 or more stacks, you gain 8 Spirit per second, and that's another Spirit generator because you're going to be casting this a lot because you're going to be killing stuff very, very quickly. Seize the Initiative, dealing damage to enemies above 75% life. Increases your attack speed by 30% for 4 seconds. Now, that's not huge until you think about the fact that you're going to be dashing quickly, you're going to be casting quickly, and the idea is to carry a two-hander for this build, so that's going to be important to have a little bit extra increased attack speed when you need it when you're moving around. Momentum, moving 25 yards increases your damage by 20% for 6 seconds. You're going to have this up almost 100% of the time, or at least you should have it up 100% of the time, because you're going to be moving a lot. And you're going to be getting this 20% increased damage pretty much permanently. Beacon of Etar for the cooldown reduction, mostly for your Epiphany because that is huge, and your Mystic Ally. Both of those are where your Spirit will be coming from. And of course your Dashing Strike to be able to move around a little bit quicker. And hey, here's a regular passive, Fleet-Footed. Increase your movement speed by 10%. Not a bad thing. Now, as far as the gear goes, if you have an incense torch, that would be great. Unfortunately, we can't get one, so we're using a furnace for now, which does the trick, especially when we're trying to get those elites down quickly while moving through. For your Sun Wukong pieces, you're going to have the gloves, shoulders, and your amulet. Now, you're going to see, obviously, we wish we had some cooldown reduction there in place of vitality, but we got this set up. We do have cooldown reduction on our shoulders, which is nice. The socket here, obviously, this is a decent roll for the amulet, so we are very happy with that. Now, this is an item, again, the Zogren's Gaze. Now, this increases your Wave of Light damage. It's nice, and your Wave of Light is now cast at your enemy, which is also nice. And that's good to have there. Like I said, if you're trying to just move in and out, maybe a Leoric's will help get that extra cooldown reduction. But this is going to help in the long run. You can probably find one with a little bit better roll. But that socket is far more important than your crit hit damage or crit hit chance, because that extra cooldown reduction is going to come in pretty handy. The Cinder Coat, which is very important, reduces the resource cost of fire skills, which is mainly what you're casting here. So that's a very, very important thing to be able to reduce the spirit cost of that and help you out a ton. Now, a couple items that you're going to be running a little bit differently. Your Captain Crimson's pieces for your cooldown reduction and all that stuff going on there. Plus you get the resource cost reduction as well, which is nice. You're going to be running your boots and your pants there. Roll some Wave of Light damage on your boots, and you are set. Now, if you've got a Stone of Jordan and a Ring of Royal Grandeur, obviously the Ring of Royal Grandeur is very important for this build. To get your set bonuses from your Captain Crimson's and your Sun Wukong's, that's very important there. And then, of course, a Stone of Jordan, because you get the extra fire damage. You get to knock out those elites super quick. But if not, anything will be okay there. For the bracers, now, the way we're going to set this up, now, obviously, you can probably run something a little different. Because if you have something like Custarian wrist guards, or the Warzettian arm guards, which increases your movement speed when you destroy an object, those are pretty cool to have around. I tend to lean more towards the Reaper's Wraps because there are times, if I don't have enough cooldown reduction, to be able to pick up those health globes to be able to continue on my way casting Wave of Light. Now, here's a very interesting piece of Gold Wrap. Now, wait a minute. Gold Wrap? Yes, Gold Wrap. On gold pickup, gain armor for 5 seconds equal to the amount picked up. You're doing that because in conjunction with your Boon of the Hoarder gem that you are going to be running, the Boon of the Hoarder gem is great for 2 reasons. One, it causes enemies to explode and give you gold, which essentially causes you to stack up a ton of armor and basically become invincible while running this build, especially in Torment 6 content, especially if you're running solo. If you're moving about slowly, then you're not going to get that, but that 5 seconds is going to roll over every time that you pick up gold, which is huge. Plus, if you have this at rank 25, you gain 30% increased movement speed for 2 seconds after picking up gold. So just merely picking up that gold while dashing about, you're going to get a lot of bonuses there because you're going to get the gold, you're going to get armor, and you're going to get the movement speed, and that's pretty cool. The Zeiss Stone, you're using that again because if you've got the Sokrin's Gate, man, if we could get that right, you're going to be able to cast that at distance. So you get that pretty far away, and you're going to be doing quite a bit more damage, which is very nice. Lastly, Bane of the Powerful. This is pretty much going to have 100% uptime as well. More increased elite damage if you've got it at 25, plus you get the extra 20% increased damage for X amount of seconds. You'll be clearing elites plenty quickly. So that's a nice thing to have there. So you're getting permanent damage increases, almost permanent movement speed increases, and that's great. Now, if you're not a huge fan of, say, the Gold Wrap and the Boon of the Hoarder, you can easily switch over to something like a Witching Hour or any belt of your choosing. Like I said, the Leoric's Crown is also another decent option. So that's the build. If you go out there, you're bound to find some amazing videos to where you are seeing people clear Torment 6 rifts in a minute. I mean, a minute. That's incredible. Now, obviously, you got to have a little bit of luck there to make that happen, but it's incredible. It's really fun. I'll get a gameplay video for you guys together so you can see this in action as well. And I will link that to you, and that'll be in the annotation. If it's here right now, that means the gameplay is up, else be on the lookout for that in the future. That is the build, guys. If you are playing a monk and you are having a good time with all the other builds out there and you haven't seen this, I highly recommend that you check it out. The Boon of the Hoarder gem, of course, is the gem that you get from the boss in the vault, which is the secret goblin realm. So make sure and farm one of those up, and if you don't know how to get there, you can find a video on how to get to the vault on our channel or on my channel, so you can find that right there and be able to farm that up. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you like the build, if you're having a lot of fun with this, feel free to hit that like button below or leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the build, or maybe something you're doing a little bit different. But if you're enjoying this, man, let me know what you think of it. If you haven't subscribed already and you're looking for more Diablo content, then feel free to hit that subscribe button below. There's going to be a lot more coming up. Season 2 is right before the day of this video, or right after the day of this video. So we're going to be doing a lot there. Plus, we're going to be continuing playing non-seasons for you folks that are looking for different builds as well. So stick around, check all those other builds out. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Till next time, happy hunting. We'll see you again.